Hello, my soul family. How are you all? And I hope you are doing great, wonderful, amazing, and safe wherever you are in the world. I welcome you all in my channel. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel, for giving me lots of love. And I am very glad that I help you out in some manner. If you have not subscribed yet to the channel, then please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And you can also let me know in the comment section if you want to tell me anything, if you want to ask me anything. So let's start today's video. In this video, we are going to talk about the current energies, important messages, and guided downloads, and much more things. But before starting this video, I'm going to say that take whatever is resonating according to your situation and leave the rest, because as we all know that we are on a different level of consciousness and activation of DNA, so it is not going to apply and resonate with each of us. So take whatever is resonating according to your soul journey, according to your spiritual journey, and leave the rest. So let's start today's video. In this video, we are going to talk about, first of all, the Saturn and Mars conjunction, which has been started from 15th March to 20th, 23 April 2024. Second, we are going to talk about the spring equinox, which has happened on 20th March 2024. Next, we are going to talk about the lunar eclipse, which has happened on 25th March 2024. And then we are going to talk about the solar eclipse, which is going to happen on 8th of April 2024. So let's start first from the first thing, which is the Saturn and Mars conjunction. So this is a Mars Saturn conjunction which has been started from 15th of March to 23rd of April 2024, and it is the first event. It is actually a sequence of events which are connected with each other, and this event, the Saturn Mars conjunction event, is the first event in the domino effect type event. Okay, as there are a lot of events which are connected with one another. So this is the first event which is from which a sequence of events are going to start. So because of the Saturn and Mars conjunction, what is happening is that the collective consciousness will start working and acting from the unconscious mind. What does that mean? That means that from 15th of March, when this Saturn and Mars conjunction started, the collective consciousness is working from their unconscious mind, okay, and they do not know about it, and the unconscious mind is connected to our dimension 1, our root chakra, our etheric body. So in our mind, in our brain, we are having three types of mind. The first one is unconscious mind, the second one is subconscious mind, and the third one is conscious mind. The unconscious mind is called as reptilian brain in 3D science, okay, and the subconscious mind is called as emotional brain or limbic brain, okay, and the conscious mind is called as neocortex or the reasoning mind, okay, in the 3D science. So what is happening is that, as you all can see in the picture, as we are connected to the universe, the macrocosm to the microcosm, there is the whole universe inside each of us, okay. We are a part of universe, we are connected to the universe, the macrocosm to the microcosm. So any astrological alignment or event which is happening to the macrocosm level, it is going to affect each of us, okay, because we are connected to the universe. So what is happening is, whenever the Saturn and Mars alignment happen, it affects and it controls our unconscious mind. In the same way, if any Mercury or Venus alignment, astrological alignment happen, okay, then this collective consciousness will start working from their subconscious mind. In the same way, if there is some Sun, Moon, or Jupiter astrological alignment is going on, then the collective consciousness will start working from their conscious mind. So right now, as we know that there is a Saturn and Mars conjunction which has been started from 15th of March to 23rd March 2024. There is a Saturn and Mars, okay, the unconscious mind, which is the collective consciousness which has been started working and taking actions from the unconscious mind. And what does this Saturn and Mars doing? They are creating more anger and fear through which they are going to control the collective consciousness. Basically, the unconscious mind is called as the reptilian brain. And why it is called as reptilian brain? Because this is the oldest layer of the brain, which is called as the reptilian brain, and it is composed of medulla, pons, cerebellum, midbrain, bulbus pallidus, and olfactory bulbs, the structure that dominates in the brain of snakes and lizard. And that's why it is called as reptilian brain. As well as this is a brain which works on the survival state, okay, that is working on a survival state. But the thing is that actually our unconscious mind becomes the reptilian brain whenever the Mars or Saturn astrological alignment happens. At that point of time, the unconscious mind, okay, starts and activates in a reptilian brain. As well as there is a Avatar etheric implant which has been put inside our brain stem where the unconscious mind is there. And whenever that Avatar etheric implant gets activated, our unconscious mind becomes the reptilian brain. Okay, so what does that mean? That whenever our reptilian brain gets activated, we activated a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. What does that mean is that this is a brain, this is a unconscious mind. Now this is the reptilian brain which works on crisis, that the crisis is going on, there is a threat to your survival. Now you have to, okay, save yourself and you have to act yourself. So at that point of time, our central nervous system, okay, it gets manipulated and activates a fight, flight, freeze, and fawn activations or responses which has been generated from the outside external survival threats which has been given by the environment. But in actual reality, the truth is that there is an etheric avatar implant in our unconscious mind which turns the unconscious mind into a reptilian brain which activates the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn actions or responses. Okay, not the actions, actually the responses from the outside external fear or survival threatening situations. Okay, now let's talk about this avatar implant more. So basically, our unconscious mind is dimension 1. It is connected to etheric body. It is connected to the root chakra. It is DNA strand 1. So basically, this is actually called as avatar reversal etheric implant, which creates the unconscious mind into reptilian mind and reverse 10 strand DNA template, which is being placed in our unconscious mind, and it was placed in the fall of Breonna Dracolian invasion timeline in 2,08,216 BC, which manipulates our central nervous system, which blocks our higher avatar body coming into the physical body. It actually activates the fight, the flight, and the freeze and the fawn, okay, and it is located at the back of the brain, and it increases the illusion, the fear, and the survival. Okay, illusions has been created by showing our ancestral lineage shadows or our past or present shadow, and it is connected to the father principal lineage, to our chakra. So there, whenever this implant gets activated, whenever your fight flight mode activated, okay, there has been illusions which has been created, and there are voices that can come out and tell you the lies. And at that point time, we actually are living and revisiting the trauma, the pain, the patterns, the cycles, and we are stuck in the same loop. Okay, but right now what we have to do is that we have to break that loop by seeing the truth and following our intuition. Okay, so when we activate our 10th chakra, then we can remove this reptilian etheric implant which has been connected with the gold flame, the seraphim races, which was created on the 10th dimensional Lyra Vega, which are called as the Dracolian races, which are actually the reptilian races. Now, this implant is being placed in the base structure of the brain stem via medulla oblongata. And when we activate our 10th chakra, then we can remove this avatar etheric implant. Okay, but when the reptilian brain is activated, when this etheric implant is activated, we run on the lunar rod architecture, which is the unholy trinity, which is actually the Isis, Osiris. Okay, when this reptilian brain is activated, the avatar consciousness, there is a separation in the avatar consciousness. That means we cannot activate our avatar consciousness, and instead of activating 12 strand DNA template, we reverse our 10 strand DNA template. We start running the base 10 artificial tree of life, which is called as Kabbalah. So next point is, when this reptilian brain is activated, the artificial capstones get activated, which connects us into the phantom timeout and the Pluto, which actually created and activates the AI time loops, which is called as artificial intelligence time loop. Okay, and there is a transmission line 1010 which has been used to project the artificial timelines through us, because as we know that we are the transmitters, and through our own self these frequencies are transmitting into the grid through us. So these are actually artificially generated thought forms which has been created through us once this reptilian brain or the avatar etheric body implant gets activated. Okay, now we know that when this avatar implant is activated, there is two times when it is activated. First of all, any astrological alignment of Saturn and Mars, if it is happening, then at that point of time the unconscious mind gets activated. The collective consciousness will start working from the unconscious mind, and in our unconscious mind there is abuse, there is trauma, there is shock, there is devastation, and because of these things we start running from these unconscious mind, and we even do not even aware of it that we are actually acting and working from our unconscious mind. Okay, so first of all, the unconscious mind turn into reptilian brain once this avatar implant gets activated, and by showing us illusion, there is an illusion, there will be an increase in illusion, there will be increase in fear, because of which there will be a reversal 10 strand DNA template which start running, and 10th dimension is connected to the 6th dimension, and 6th dimension is actually your 6th chakra, which is your third eye. So once the reversal 10 DNA is gets activated, the third eye, which is actually telling you the truth, it starts working in an opposite way, which means that you will be going in a illusion. Okay, so once the reverse 10 strand DNA template gets activated, there will be illusion, there will be fear, there will be actually the fight and flight instance. The reptilian brain will activate the survival of fear based thoughts. So these are actually okay, stored in your unconscious mind, and your unconscious mind is the hard drive of all memories of your past life, of your present life, and your future life. Okay, so it is connected to your father principal lineage, so it tells you that there is actually a crisis which is happening right now, and there is a threat to your survival, and you have to save your own self, you have to activate your fight, flight, or freeze or fawn responses. So it's this implant is actually like a illusion or a white snake or a false light, okay, which is actually being created to manipulate our central nervous system, which which blocks our body into the physical body. Okay, so first of all, whenever if you are reaching on 10th strand DNA template, that means if you are activating your 10th chakra, then also this implant is coming on surface. Okay, and the second thing, if any astrological event or conjunction or any alignment happens between Saturn or Mars, then also the unconscious mind, this implant is going to activate your unconscious mind into the reptilian brain. Okay, so at that point of time, we are actually reliving or revisiting the same trauma, and we are stuck in a loop. Okay, we have to break that loop, we have to break the illusion, we have to know that this is a shadow, this is a illusion, and it happens when we ask question. So ask yourself, your reptilian brain, okay, that what is the reality, what is the truth. And once you start asking your reptilian brain the question, and once you start knowing the truth, your reptilian brain will get deactivated. Okay, now let's talk about the next thing, which is the spring equinox. The spring equinox happened on 20th March 2024. This is the time where the day and night becomes equal. There was actually a equal opportunity given to the both of the race lines which are available on right now on the planet Earth. This was very important portal, I can say, that the spring equinox which has happened, which on 20th March 2024, there was a lot of activation which was going through. And even I have also taken a spiritual break, as I'm going through lot of activations and updations in my DNA. So I've taken a spiritual break so that I can become a beautiful butterfly. Right now also I'm in a cocoon mode, but right now I'm receiving this download to make a video on this, because it is very important. The solar eclipse is very important, and there is lot of information, there is lot of things which is going on right now on the planet Earth, and it is important to know each of us that what is this means, because right now each of us has a choice to make. Each of us is very important. Each soul on the planet Earth has to take a decision, and they have to take a decision based on their free will, but they have to know the real truth, the divine. They have a divine right to know the complete picture, the real truth. And once we know the real truth, then we can make the choice, the free will choice, according to our free will. Okay, based on the complete picture. So next comes the spring equinox, and this was a day which is actually lot of activations were happening, because this was a spiritual powerhouse that opened up to the 30 dimension of consciousness access for all of us. So what does that mean? So that means the gold order of the original Seraphi founder races are actually the protectors and custodians of the gold sun DNA, which is the progressive evolutionary DNA template that heals the fallen seraphim lines in the entire universal time matrix. And the return of the original gold sun DNA in the spring equinox is actually a spiritual house. It's actually a spiritual powerhouse. So what has happened in the spring equinox, that there is a return of original gold sun DNA, which means the 30 strand DNA template, which opens actually the 30 dimension of consciousness axis. And this development is a serious threat to the continued control of the black suns or the Dracolian races on the planet Earth. Although these are difficult and dark times to navigate on the earth, the restoration of gold sun DNA is a major reason for a celebration, because on this spring equinox there is a return of original gold sun DNA. Okay, there is a spiritual powerhouse which gets open on the spring equinox, and we can access, actually there was a 30 dimension of consciousness which was open, and we can access these 30 dimension of consciousness. Okay, and because of the human tribal shield affiliation and genetic relationship to the 10 star gate and the infiltration of the golden eagle grid, many of the gold order have been appointed to directly rehabilitate and transit the Dracolian race lines and override their related NAA timeline, that is fallen races timeline. So basically the Stargate 10, the Q site 10, and the diagonal Stargate that connects to the Stargate number 10 is Iran, Iraq, and Kashmir. That's why there is lot of wars and lot of things, the conflicts, the mind control programs happening in these areas, because the Dracolian races, the Lyra Vega races, the reptilian races, okay, the Seraphim races, the Gold Flame Order, which has been digressed, okay, these races, for them, the Dimension 10 and these portals, the stargates basically, are very much important because it connects to Dimension 10. Okay, so this was the spring equinox. Now let's talk about the lunar eclipse. So basically, on the lunar eclipse, it actually the lunar eclipse held on the 25th March 2024, and on this 25th March 2024, when the lunar eclipse happened, there was lot of repressed emotions which was coming on surface. What is repressed emotion means? That means there was many whatever uncomfortable emotions or unprocessed emotions which are stored in our unconscious mind and which we do not aware of it, whether it is related to your present lifetime or any of your past timelines, were coming on the surface, to clear it out, to heal it out, and to integrate your own shadow aspect which has not yet integrated in your solar consciousness. So what was happening on 25th March 2024, that is on lunar eclipse, that there was a repressed emotions which were coming on surface, okay, and they were stored in our unconscious mind. So basically there were a lot of timelines which were coming on that lunar eclipse, and in my case also I can share my own story. I was literally feeling that my whole body is burning, okay, for minimum 4 to 5 days. I was literally feeling that my whole body is burning out. Okay, why I was feeling that? Because there were timelines which we were healing on this 25th March 2024 lunar eclipse. Basically we were healing the tribe 12. So tribe 12 healing was going on this lunar eclipse, and the things were coming on surface related to tribe 12. So there are basically some timelines which are connected to tribe 12. Tribe 12 is actually connected to dimension 12. Dimension 12 is actually the Lyra Armentana, and there is target number 12 which is there in Montségur, France, and there is Q site 12 which is the Kauai, Hawaii, or the Lemuria. So all of the timelines which were coming on surface during the lunar eclipse, okay, held on 25th March 2024, was the first of all the Lyran Elohim war, in which the destruction of Stargate number 12 happened, okay, which we called as the original sin. Then the second timeline was the France and Paris wars, which is the French Revolution. Around 6 million people were killed in this French Revolution, and there is lot of catacombs which has been built and made underground in underground tunnels, caves in the Paris. Next timeline which was coming on surface was the Cathar, which is also called as Albigensian Crusade. This was actually a genocidal campaign started to stop them from using their round table knowledge against from the CDT plate 12. Basically, the CDT plate 12 was given to the Cathars because they were the original holders of CDT plate 12. They were the tribe 12. And from the Cathars, the Cathara word came from, which is actually the original tree of life. Also, the Cathars, also the Cathar in Greek word is called as Catharos. So basically, the Cathars, they were burned by alive at the order of the Church of Rome and government of France. They were actually accused of teaching the false teaching that destroys the faith, and they are many paths to the God, etc. They do not eat actually or kill animals and meat, okay. And they told that that anyone can reach to the God without having the priest, okay. Also, the Church of Rome, the Pope Innocent III, put false accusations on the Cathars, and they were naked, burnt alive, okay. So these were the genocidal campaigns which has been done, okay, against the Cathars, the tribe 12, and approximate 2 lakh Cathars were killed in this time period. There is a movie which I can share with all of you, that there is a series, not a movie, a web series which is called as Curse on Netflix. We can see that movie, and it's the same period timeline, the Cathar, the King Arthur timeline period, in which they have shown that how the Majhi Grey Lines were killed, were burned alive, the whole village were burned alive, and they killed the Roman Church. They killed because they fear them, okay. Now again, the next timeline which was coming on surface was the witch hunt, okay. So there were the cages in which the divine feminine, the Majhi Grey Line divine feminines were burned alive, okay, with the black cats. They were naked, they were hanged, okay, on a cross. Everything has happened, and in the whole Europe, southwest Germany, they were called as witches. The witches were burned. In India also, there were thousands of women who were burned alive, okay. So approximate 80,000 to the 1 lakh witches were put to the death in Europe, France, Qatar, okay, Switzerland, America, and they were naked, hanged, burned, and killed. Now the next timeline which was coming on surface was the Kauai Hawaii, which is actually the Lemuria, and the second timeline is Eieyani massacre, which is 22,326 BC. In this Eieyani massacre timeline, the divine feminines were taken to the planet Nibiru, and they were forced and raped to give birth a child, and the divine masculines were forcefully taken to the to the Giza, Egypt, and many were killed and fried from the frequency, okay. So this is the timeline which is coming on surface. The next one is the Maui fires, which has happened recently, and in Kauai Hawaii they have fired the whole area, okay. So basically, the tribe 12 has exiled to other places, which is the Eieyani. The tribe 12 exiled to Easter Island, which is our Q site 2, and the Machu Picchu, Peru, which is actually our Stargate number 5. So in Easter Island, there is a 4 phases of main alpine system, which are the sound pillars, and which connects the earth with the Tara and Gaia, and it will reactivate the golden eagle alpine system and the great white loin alpine system. So now that was actually a lunar eclipse, okay, the lunar eclipse which we are talking about, okay. Now let's talk about the next timeline, the next event, which is the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is going to happen on 8 April 2024. It is going to happen on 8 April 2024, and this solar eclipse is very important for all of us, and this eclipse is called as Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire means the birthing portal, okay, the creation portal. This is the creation portal, the birthing portal. So the main message from this solar eclipse, which I want to give to all of you, is that it's very clear and very simple in one sentence, that whatever is the strongest energy of consciousness, it will manifest the reality. Okay, so the time has come to choose for every soul on earth, that whether we want to create or whether we want to destruct, whether you want to create a creation or destruction, we have to choose creation or destruction. Okay, so let's talk about this on by an example. Okay, so I'm going to talk about here from an example. This eclipse portal is very powerful, because this is actually a ring of fire, which means that this is a birthing portal. And when creation comes, and then creation comes through the perfect union of cosmic mother and cosmic father consciousness. So the fallen agenda races is the anti-union, the anti-heros gamos of mother father god, so that they can eradicate our cosmic holy mother, and projected this tyrannical false father god image over human religion to block the flowering union in the earth's grid. The anti-heroes gamos mean separation of the cosmic mother and the cosmic father energy, and kept them distorted and degraded in the human consciousness, so that the true Christ consciousness won't rise, and we are stuck in the same soul prison planet. But that is not going to happen. Now let's see why I'm saying that. So as you can see in this picture, that the universal mother principle, which we called as the cosmic divine mother, the Adi Parashakti, the Durga, is actually the blue flame. So the blue flame is the universal mother principle. The violet flame is actually holding the universal father principle, or that is actually the cosmic divine father, which is the Shivji. The Shivji is the universal father principle. Now when the union between the universal father principle and the universal mother principle happen, there is a Christosophia principle, there is a birth of a Christosophia principle happens, or we called as the Christ consciousness, or the gold flame, or the Kartike, which is the 12 stand DNA template. Now we have the two options for this solar eclipse on 8th of April 2024. Either we can choose the anti-heroes gamos, which is the black Lilith and the Azrael. Okay, the destruction. Okay, we can choose the separation of cosmic father and the cosmic mother, and we can give the birth of Azrael and black Lilith, the lunar distortions. Okay, so no birthing of Kartike, no birthing of Christosophia, only the destruction. And there will be this is the first choice. Okay, so fallen races agenda for planet earth is actually the separation of cosmic father Shivji and cosmic mother Sati, and birth of the Veerbhadra and Kali, which is called as Azrael and black Lilith. These are the actually the lunar god and goddesses. Okay, the lunar matrix, the phantom matrix, and which is the anti-heroes gamos, and which creates the destruction. Okay, so why let's see this story from an example. Okay, so there is a story in Hindu mythology. In that story, the story is that there is the cosmic mother, which was taken incarnated here on planet earth in a human mortal body, and she incarnate here in the home of Daksh. Her father name was Daksh. Okay, and Daksh was actually having lot of ego problem, and he hates the cosmic father principle, the Shivji. Sati once become and meet the Shivji. She wants to marry the Shivji. Okay, Sati was actually an unawakened divine feminine. She was not become the divine feminine yet, but she was the cosmic mother principle. Okay, but cosmic mother, or the Adi Parashakti, having a mortal body. Okay, here in a human mortal body. Okay, having this huge amount of energy in a mortal body. So what has happened, that Sati and Shivji got married with each other. Now one day there was a puja, an offering, a prayer which has been kept in the Daksh house. So Daksh did not get invited to the Sati and Shivji. Then when the sati gets to know that there is a puja, there is a prayer, there is ceremony which is offering, which is going to happen in her father home, Daksh, so she asks Shivji to go there. Okay, she said that I want to go to my father place, and I'm going there. So at that point of time, Shivji tell her that you should not go there because there is no invitation, and without invitation we should not go there. But she request, or she insisted, the Shivji, her own husband, that I do not want any invitation to go to my father place. I can go without any invitation because I am her daughter. I'm her child. I can go there. So Sati went to the Daksh puja, the prayer, the offering which was happening in that point of time. She went over there, and when she went over there, the Daksh um, insulted a lot, Parvati ji first, sorry, Sati first, then the Shivji. So Daksh started triggering the Sati, okay, by disrespecting the Shivji, by saying the wrong words, by saying and disrespecting the Sati, okay. Then at that one point of time, the Sati becomes so fierce and anger, and from that anger, okay, the Kundalini energy gets risen. And once that Kundalini energy gets risen, suddenly the mortal body could not handle that fears the Kundalini energy, and that Kundalini energy actually burned the body of Sati. Once the body of the Sati gets burned by her own Kundalini fire energy, she become dead. Then as she become dead, okay, the Shivji gets okay, awakened, and he give birth to two energy, the which was called as, one was Veerbhadra and the other one called as Mahakali. In other words, the lunar demonic entities, the lunar distorted energy which is called as Azarel or Black Lilith. Okay, the Shivji asked them to cut the head of the Daksh and bring that head to him. Okay, so from this, why I'm talking about this story is that now we know that we from this story we get to know that there in this story there was a separation of cosmic father and cosmic mother. Okay, and there was a birth of Veerbhadra and Mahakali. Okay, and there was no birthing of Kartikeya or the 12 strand DNA template or the Christosophia principle, and there was a destruction which happened. And who is Kartikeya? Kartikeya is actually the child, the son of cosmic mother and the cosmic father, the Adi Parashakti and the Shivji. So why I'm talking about here Kartikeya? So Kartikeya represents the our gold flamed, okay, our 12 strand DNA template, our Christ Sophia principle, okay. So basically there was another event here, which is that there was another demon called Tarkasur, and Tarkasur, there was boom he get from another god Brahma, that the Ansh, okay, or Ansh of the cosmic father principle, okay, who the son of cosmic father principle, only he can kill the Tarkasur. So when this event happened, when the separation of cosmic mother, the Sati and Shivji happened, at that point of time the Tarkasur become very happy, because the Kartikeya could not give birth, okay, on the planet, on the world, sorry, in the universe. The Kartikeya did not get born, okay, birth, they could not take birth, and because the Kartikeya was not born, so Tarkasur becomes so much, more powerful, and he started creating destruction. Now let's talk about one more story. So what has happened next is that the Sati, after some point of time, Sati was reincarnated again on the planet Earth, and by the name of Parvati. So Parvati and Shivji again meet with each other, and they here in this lifetime the Parvati becomes an awakened divine feminine, okay, and she becomes an awakened divine feminine, and the union gets happen. They both meet with each other, and then the union gets happen, okay. So when the union gets happen, okay, the union of cosmic father and the cosmic mother, the Shivji and Parvati, there was a birth of Ardhanarishwar form, which is the Shiv and Shakti, the union of divine masculine and the divine feminine, which we called as Heros Gamos. And through this Heros Gamos, there was a creation which happens. The creation was the birthing of Kartikeya, the 12 strand DNA template, the Christos Sophia principle, or the gold flame. So here in the second story there was a creation which happens, and after some point of time when the right divine timing happened, the Kartikeya killed the Tarkasur with other gods like Krishna ji, with Garud, with the Sudarshan Chakra, okay. And when the Kartikeya sent the missiles, there was a meteoroids which fell down, okay. So on this solar eclipse we are having two options. What is the option is, either we can choose the first option, which is actually a fallen races agenda for planet earth, that separation of cosmic father and the cosmic mother, which will create the anti heroes gamos, okay, which will birth the Veerbhadra and Kali, the Azarel and Black Lilith, because of which there will be a destruction, okay. And this is the first option. And the second option is for the angelic human races, that the union of the cosmic father and the cosmic mother, there will be a birth of Ardhanarishwar form, the heroes gamos, the Shiv and Shakti, which will create or birth the Kartikeya, or the 12 strand DNA template, or the Christos Sophia principle, or the gold flame. Also, once we choose this option number 2, we will free from the artificial timelines which are running on the parallel timelines. So in our parallel timeline, they are the Muvarian root races, which we can say that children of us, or we are there, our future self which is present on the parallel earth, they are stuck in artificial timeline, okay, and they are forcibly slave, they are slave race become slave race getting slaved by the other races who are present on the planet parallel earth. Again, there is one more timeline which is there in the Zeta time, which we call as Zeta timeline. That is also our future self, much more ahead of us, okay, the future earth. In that planet, or in that timeline, the Zetas are controlling planet earth, and our future self is being here captured and slaved and prisoned, okay, and living with the Zeta races. And from that future Zeta timeline, the Zetas has been using the time portal mechanics, has come back in a time and here on the planet earth. And this is the earth, this is actually the past from the Zeta perspective. So that's why they are here, and they are doing the covert treaties and agreements with our interior government from 1930s and 40s, and they are exchanging the technologies with our governments because they want to fulfill that timeline in which they have enslaved all the humanity on the planet earth, and they have taken the control of the present planet, okay. So now right now we have a choice, we can choose to choose for all of us. The time has come to choose for all of us, because we have to choose whether we want to bring the lunar goddess, the destruction, the Mahakali, the separation, the fear, the antichrist, or the Kali, or we can choose the solar goddess, the Durga ji, okay, the creation, the union, the love, the Christ, or Kalki. So we have to choose. Right now we are reaching in a transharmonic conversion point on 8th April 2024, which means it is a place which connects us into the middle time zone and inner earth timelines, okay, which leads up to our original 12 strand DNA template. It is also the dimensional door. What does this means? This means that there will be a different timelines leading us to the universal cycle, evolving us into our destiny as a fully ascended race of beings. Okay, so we are having right now the two options. We have to choose which portal of consciousness we want for our own self. So, for those who will choose the 18th portal of consciousness, known as the moon in the classic tarot, are going to repeating the old previous timeline, that is connecting to the inorganic wormholes, okay, the lunar matrix or the phantom matrix, in which the artificial satellite moon base or proportions of the moon were made to the proportionate to a time cycle that is identical to the series of catalytic floods, earthquakes that were used as a weapon in a previous timelines on planet Earth. The use of the moon base and artificial magnetism to generate another catastrophic flood, as NASA dutifully warned us, as the dire message given from the Archon Master. This all goes back to the moon and lunar control. So the moon artificial matrix become an embedded source of magnetic control with a primary octagonal panel made in sound waves to manipulate and harvest massive amounts of energy from the Earth's grids. And they're going to use moon satellite again as a base of operation and for transmitting lunar broadcast for magnetic field manipulation. Okay, that's what they are planning to do. Okay, that's why the NASA is going to shoot three rockets. Okay, the NASA is sending the three rockets during the eclipse, and they're naming them after an Egyptian demon of god, which is called as Epic. Okay, which is the god of chaos and destruction, because the opposite of creation is destruction. Okay, so simultaneously the sun will be turned on in eclipse, because sun is planning to look for a dark matter. That's what they're telling us, but that is not true, because they already know what is the meaning of dark matter. Okay, they are actually trying to open a demonic portal, and NASA is planning to fire the space rockets at the eclipse. They are actually going to I'm going to add a video here, and in this video I can, as you all can see, that they are telling what they are going to plan. They are telling, they're planning what they're going to do on the solar eclipse. The sun is telling you what they're going to do. As you can see also in the picture also, there is 666. Okay, so this is actually the carbon elemental. Okay, the 6 protons, the 6 electrons, and the 6 neutrons, which will make us stuck in the densities again, the 3D realities again. Okay, and there is a devil comet, which is again a ritual which is going to perform here by the sun. And in this video also you can see that how they are going to collide the protons. Okay, and once they are going to collide the protons, there will be a black hole which is going to open here on the planet Earth, and through which they want to suck the Earth into the phantom matrix. Okay, so that's why they are telling us that something is going to come up, something is going to come up from sun is actually trying to open the bottomless pit at the 8 April activation, that is the phantom matrix. Okay, so for those who are choosing the lunar matrix, they are going to get stuck in the lower spirals of the dense energies, which is going to repeating in the old previous timeline, which is represented as the 18th portal of consciousness in the moon. Okay, in the tarot. Now let's talk about the second option, which is the 19th portal of consciousness, which is the sun, the solar matrix. So for those who are choosing the 19th portal of consciousness, the sun in the classic tarot, okay, so for them there will be a lunar eclipse. From the lunar eclipse, they, as I told you, that there was a lower shadow body which started to rise in our body, which was actually started to transfigure or transform the solar fire. That there will be a new levels of intracellular light, which is the plasma light, which will illuminate the lower shadow body's reflections, and we will be able to sense them. There will be a transfiguration process which is going on. It is where there will be a shadow, and luna, there will be rise from the cellular memory in the body to be seen. We will perceive the shadow rising into an area of a body where the memory is attached, either physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We will witness the shadow rising and all of the negative emotions and pain and that are associated with it in our memories, identities, and timelines. The shadow is something to learn how to embrace and not to fear. As it rises to surface awareness, it is showing us exactly where we need to heal. So basically, for the souls who are choosing the sun, okay, they are going to create a birthing of the 12 strand DNA template. Okay, as right now there's current timeline shift, there will be a shift in the coordinate locations, there will be an energetic contents of the past future timelines which were existing, which are will existing on the earth plane all at the same time. They are actually a powerful infusions of plasmic light and the new time codes that are filtering onto the earth. Okay, so this is all which is actually happening on this eclipse. Okay, and so on this solar eclipse, there is a dimensional doorway, a different timelines which are going to happen here. Okay, these different timelines are the constructs of dimensional frequency spectrum that hold the different life patterns, different emotions, choices for our soul life journey. So we have to choose. Okay, there is another phase in the global separation of worlds which is going to happen. Okay, which is going to start here from the 8th April 2024. This is actually a portal of ascension and descension, I can say that. So we have to choose. Okay, choose that what you want for yourself, and from this choosing you can choose that what you can choose from the collective consciousness, not only for your own self, but the time has come to choose for everyone, and it will going to affect the collective consciousness. So choose according to your free will. Either you can choose the love frequencies, okay, which will create in ascending timeline. Okay, and another is you can choose the fear based energies which will take you into a descending timelines. Okay, so that's what I want to tell you all. So I'm setting an intention with this video that I hope with this video, with this information, you can take a correct decision. Okay, in which the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the cosmic father, the cosmic mother, which is all present inside of us. Okay, the inner masculine, the inner feminine, which we all carrying inside of us, we are going to get a balance and union. There will be a heros gamos, and we will birth the Christosophia template, the Kartike, the 12 strand DNA template by the free will. Okay, so sending you lots of love, healing, and happy energies to all my soul family who are watching my video. Take care of yourself, and I will see you all soon.